Aden of Somalia. Fartun worked alongside her husband advocating for peace and education in Somalia for years before warlords assassinated her husband in 1996. Fartun then fled to Canada, and she raised their 3 daughters there as refugees. But in 2007, with Mogadishu torn apart by violence, Fartun returned home to continue her work for justice and reconciliation in Somalia. She started with pressing problems that are far too often absolutely ignored in patriarchal societies: rape and other sexual gender-based violence like child marriage. Her program, called Sister Somalia, supports survivors of sexual violence in unprotected camps of internally displaced people. She established the first sexual violence hotline and rape crisis center in Mogadishu, and that has helped more than 400 Somali women get a safe new start on life. And she has reached out to help hundreds of former child soldiers in order for them to be able to reintegrate into society, offering them an education and job training. Many are now working as teachers, electricians, mechanics, and they're filling the good jobs that Somalia needs in order to recover from more than 2 decades of violence. One person, folks, for courageously championing the rights of women and youth in Somalia through post-trauma support provision, skills, training, education, and advocacy, and for never losing hope for a peaceful Somalia. We honor Fartun Aden as a woman of courage. Will say. I'd like to invite Fartun Aden to speak on behalf of all those that we have honored here today.
Thank you very much. I have a speech, but I don't think I can write it. I can read it. I'm not going to read it because I'm too nervous sitting beside with Michelle and this is the one opportunity I would never expect when we were working in Somalia. I never thought someone is going to see it, the work we are doing in Somalia. But that is one of the things we are really appreciating here. First Lady, sorry about that. First Lady, I honestly don't know what to say, but thank you for having us here. And also, I would like to talk about, on behalf of those women, it's a really, really fabulous women. And the work we do, it doesn't matter where we live, it's always the same. As a women, we share one word, which is silence. Whatever place we are, we're always quiet. We don't talk, we don't say anything. We just listen whatever someone tells us. And that is the way we are now to change. I'm a mother, I have 3 girls. And I have to be a role model, not only to them, but to all young girls. And not only Somalia, but all over the place. We need to speak out. We need to involve. We need to be part of the change. Politically, decision making. We have in Somalia, last 22 years, women who's fighting. We didn't have a government, a strong government. We are fighting. And all these women who's doing amazing job in Somalia, they never get encouraged when it comes to peace making, when it comes to the decision making, when it comes to anything in their life. Someone has to make a decision for them. And that is not right. And that's where we stand today. And I'm so happy. I'm nervous, sorry about guys. I'm so happy to be here. And yesterday, when I saw the signing, President Obama signing against the violence against the women, it was relief. I knew, and I know we can change. We can change. And our program called Sister Somali, which that name it came from because it doesn't matter where we live, we're all sisters. And that's why I need us support to young generation to become a leaders, to change, and not, we have a lot of work to do. Education, healthy, basic life. We're talking about human rights, the basic life in Somalia, and we don't have that. And that's the one of thing that we are fighting for. And we wanted to keep fighting, and hopefully one day we will change, and the young generation is gonna get there. And thank you very much for having me here. I'm sorry I didn't read my speech because
Thank you, Fartun, for your remarks on behalf of all of the women here and all of the women everywhere. Fartun, I have to tell you, I have been in Mogadishu and met with your president and talked about the role that women are playing in your country, and I have no doubt that with leaders like you, there will be a bright and great future for your children and for their children. I thank you and all of you for everything you do every single day. I'm sure, like all of you in the audience, I'm truly humbled by these women. On behalf of Mrs. Obama, Secretary Kerry, and the International Women of Courage, thank you for joining us today. It is really all of our privilege to be here. At this time, I kindly ask you to remain seated for a moment while we take a brief photo and allow our guests to exit the stage. I'd also like to invite you to join us in celebrating these women of courage in the Benjamin Franklin Diplomatic Reception Room upstairs. Thank you very much. If you'll just stay seated for one moment, we'll do this quickly, and then you can all go celebrate. Thank you so very much.